Well, I was asked to provide a short state of the Unified Program statement, and then I was reminded right before I got up here that it cost about $30,000 a minute to have you in this room, so I better be real quick. But it's worth it, because as you move forward from here, you're going to be packed with probably the best opportunity that you'll have all year to get trained in a very complicated area. This last year was an amazing year for the Unified Program, just like every year is. You had new legislation to deal with. You created a new emergency response technical group. You reached out to industry to find out what the problems were that needed to be corrected. We implemented a new information system called the California Environmental Reporting System. You developed a training framework, and you did all your inspections and enforcement actions. So that's quite a bit of work in 1 year. You're a busy, busy group. In the area of new legislation, you kind of broke ground. You're dealing with this year a new product stewardship program for paints. It hasn't been done in California. It's going to change the way, it'll start to change the way we deal with products in California. It's been done on a smaller scale in other states, but of course in California everything is bigger, and you're going to be meeting that challenge this coming year. Additionally, you've had to deal with new compressed gas laws. So it's very dynamic, and it points to the need for this kind of educational experience every year, because you do have to deal with a changing environment constantly. Additionally, you formed a new emergency response technical advisory group within the CUPA Forum Board, a really important step. We're going to hear a little bit later about debris from the tsunami. In California, about every 7 years, there's a major disaster. So during your career, if you haven't been involved in one of these, you will, and you'll be asked to respond and organize. And I think with the development of this emergency response tag, it'll help you prepare and be ready to interact with your federal and state partners when the time comes. So congratulations on that. Additionally, I want to comment on the industry survey that you stepped out to do. You know, right now, the economics of today and the environment dealing with industry is very similar to the way it was in 1991-92. There was a lot of discussion about environmental regulations crushing business in California and causing the problems with the economy. And out of that, that's how the Unified Program was born, okay? An opportunity developed. So it wasn't that we actually drove down environmental protection, but because of that opportunity, we took advantage of the need to reform, and we developed the Unified Program. And as a result of that now, we have a much more robust environmental protection program for chemicals in California than otherwise would have happened. So we have that opportunity again, and the CUPA Forum Board is seizing the moment, reaching out to industry and saying, okay, you keep saying that there are problems with implementing the environmental regulations in California. They're too complicated, they're overlapping, they're redundant. Tell us where they are so we can work with you to make that change. So congratulations on that. Now, the California Environmental Reporting System is a game changer for all of you. It's a cultural change. So for the over 45 crowd or 50 crowd in the room, you know, you're going to have to struggle with this. But for the newer crowd coming up behind you, this is going to make available a lot of information that you can use and be familiar with. I know that I've seen a couple of people, Mike's carrying around his laptop so he can take that he has for his inspectors now, and they can go out and do all their work right while they're in the field. With CSRS, that information, as we develop that exchange protocol, when you complete your inspection and you have that information in the computer, it will be exchanged with and go up and be combined into a state information system. It'll be made available to the US EPA. For the first time, we're actually going to have access to all that chemical information about facilities that you collect. It won't be in file cabinets or in local computers, but we'll be able to take that and integrate it with other computer systems, and you're going to be able to tell what the risks are in your communities. You're going to be able to identify what industries are doing, are in compliance, and which ones are not, so you can focus your efforts. So there's going to be a lot of advantage to streamlining as well as making things available for the public. Another area where you're innovative is in the training framework. This is a great conference. When you look at the fact that you pump out this much training, this is like boot camp for CUPA guys here. You can go through and get trained on every aspect of your position while you're here for a week. But you know, frankly, a lot of you come here, we check in, we go to the classes we like to take, but the question arises, are we giving you the classes that you need so that you have the knowledge and skills to do the job that you've been asked to do? And so with this training framework, we're going to start organizing and look at the knowledge and skills that you need to do your job and make sure that as you progress through your career, we give you the training so that you have that knowledge and skills. So this is going to increase your professionalism. It's going to make us more consistent statewide. And hopefully it pleases industry too. So, now you're in the business of protecting public health and the environment. You know, your job is to go out and find risks, chemical risk in the community, and get them fixed. So last year, you did close to 97,000, maybe more. It depends on how you count the number of inspections that you made. So 97,000 inspections. I think other than the food inspection program, that's probably the highest inspection rate out there. And you're working in an area with some of the most complex law and also some of the most high-tech and complex industry. So you have a lot to deal with. And in those 97,000 inspections, you found 50% of the time violations, and those violations were corrected within 90 days. So just think about it. Tens of thousands of risk points were identified by your work and were corrected. So I want to remind you of a proverb, and you've all heard this in one form or another, but it goes, for want of a nail, a shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, a horse was lost. For want of a horse, a messenger was lost. And for want of a message, a war was lost. And for want of a war or a battle, a nation was lost. And the proverb really speaks to the fact that little things can have a catastrophic result. And you really never know which little thing will result in that. So I want to tell you that you make a difference because those tens of thousands of inspections that you made and the violations you found and corrected made the community safer. Somewhere in there was that nail that could have resulted in a catastrophic results. So thank you for doing that work.